How's it going, everybody? MonkeyNutz here. Welcome to MineMogul. Today we're going to work on a little bit more of an advanced beginner's guide and talk about some of the machines and specifically how they work. So we'll start with the basic and work up from there. We do have the ore crushers. These crush the little ore bits down before they go into the smelters. When you look at the smelter here, you can see these chunks here. Each one of these, when the chunks fall in, fills up one of these lines, and then you produce an iron plate. So breaking the nugs into multiple pieces gives you quicker progress towards the next ingot. We then want to separate out all of the ingots onto their own belts, so that's where we use these sorter conveyors. When you slap a sorter conveyor down, you've got the green lines there is going to be your belt and the direction it's headed. So you connect the belt into here, and that would be your line going through. And whatever you put in this top basket is going to pop out this side here. If you're trying to look at this and figuring out which way does this go, does it go this direction or this direction, just remember the green arrow is the input, red arrows are outputs. Once we get the resources separated, and the reason we're separating the resources is we do not want to end up with slag ingots down in here because it will plug up the machines and cause problems. I find it generally best to send the ingots through the rollers before they are turned into a final product, because once the product gets bigger, for example these plates or the pipes further on down, they get a lot more difficult to transport. As you can see down here, the pipes are much larger and they can get hung up or stuck in the polishers sometimes because of their size. So I just prefer to do all of the polishing before final product. If you do have to polish after final product, the best way I've found to do it is to put one of these little guys here, because the plates do get hung up on their way into the polisher. So if you have the conveyor ledge to kind of pop it up a little bit, it'll prevent it from getting stuck on these corners. Rapid auto miners are fun, just make sure you've got plenty of drill bits for them. They have updated the amount of time a drill bit lasts. They now last 10 minutes. Keep an eye out for these detonators on your travels, and walk up to it and press down on the handle. Follow that cord and you are going to find a new portion of the cave has opened up. So right here is our rapid auto miner. You stick the drill bit on in there and it gets running. If you pull this back out, it's supposed to show me here, it is now 99% durability. So we can put that back in there. Does it still? Yep. If you grab it with E and pop it out of there while it's running, it will just start vibrating around on the ground. You can pick it up by pressing F and hit take. Oh, there it is. Yep. If this happens, don't panic. Just put the drill bit back in. It helps if we turn the machine off first. We have to take this, pick the machine up, put it back down. We can now put the drill bit back in and it works just fine. This will last 10 minutes and it will make a loud clink noise when that finally does break. This here is a very useful piece. If you toggle, it will close this door. Keep an extra close eye out on your mining nodes. Some of them do have higher diamond yield. This one is 2.3%. If you're wondering what this elevator is for, it will be implemented in the future. I'm going to grab one of each of these machines so we can pull them off to the side and look at them a little better outside of the build. This is your pipe machine that rolls the plates and then welds them. This does require 2 plates to run, and you do need to put a plate machine before it. I do recommend leaving a space, as I have not done that over here. And you can see here, we do get a bit of a build-up. Yep, those plates do not like it in there. So what I need to do is split that, and I'm stuck. Nice. So what I really need to do is split the plates, but I did not leave myself enough room to do that here. So I would recommend doing it that way. Either that, or what I may be implementing into my further builds are the robot arms. I can't use it right now because I haven't unlocked it yet. I would have a plate belt over here that heads off to the selling hopper, and then put a robot arm that would transfer the plates between one and the other. That way it never overloads the belt, and I still get plates making their way into the hopper and the pipes. I think that's a better way to go with that. And our final machine to look at is the rod extruder. This thing is neat. It's got a little animation in there. I know they're not finished with it yet. It's going to have more animation to it than just the idle animations you see here. This is going to input ingots and output rods on this end. As you can see in my Master of Iron quest there, we have ingots, plates, rods, and pipes are all of the current in-game products. Oop, we got one on the ground here. And so far we have 3 different materials they're made in. That would be gold, iron, and copper. Unless you want to count slag, which could happen if you end up with a copper plate and an iron plate go through. Since this requires 2 plates to build, if the 2 plates are different materials, you will end up with a slag pipe, which is useful in the Master of Slag quest. And to make a slag ingot, you just need to mix stuff inside of here. So, for example, these belts, I have copper coming up this way. If I were to dump this into this grinder over here instead, I would end up with slag ingots coming out of here. One thing I do want to point out about the quest at the top left-hand corner there, if you have multiple quests active that require the same item, for example, iron ingots, it will only count for, I believe, the first quest that was activated. But it will only count for 1 quest at a time. But I do believe I can activate my other ones here for the copper ingots, gold ingots, and iron plates all at the same time. Nice. There are some other items in the dev test section, like the packager here, that I'm not really going to speak about today because I haven't messed with it and I know it's still a work in progress. Something else I do want to point out that came to my attention during stream, the resource scanner can be a great tool if you're having trouble seeing what you're looking at, if you're having trouble discerning the difference between the different ores. You could look at this, it says coal ore on it as it goes by on the belt, so I know I'm looking at a coal ore and I can throw that into my sorter. Right here is telling me I'm looking at a copper ore. So if you have trouble seeing the difference between the ores, if you have vision problems, this is the tool for you. Something new they just added to the game mid-recording. We now have arrow signs. Well, that's neat. For these signs, you can just pop them there. Oh, and they have random sayings on them when you press them. Oh, this is... Yes! Oh, that's so cool. Press F to change sign text. Okay. Golly, dude, these are so cool. Thank you. Thank you for the signs. I love them. Now that I've got the robot arm unlocked, let me show you how I meant earlier with if we overload this belt with plates coming through, the robot arm is going to stack them directly on top of that because I did it incorrectly. Let's try that setup. Nice. And I don't believe that robot arm will move fast enough to overload one of these. I'll have to do more testing on that. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of how you could use that. And since I do have an overload that happens right here with this plate machine, I want to try something really quickly. How about that? There we go. Would you look at that? Oh, that does move pretty quickly. I may have been incorrect about my earlier assumption that that would stop that from overloading. But look at how quickly it's clearing my plug here. Oh, and causing another one here. This hammer is very helpful for this. Let's see how this works. Horribly, because I missed a belt here. Okay, let's see how this works. That's working much better. We're having a problem down here at the end, though. What if I do this? Then pipes can't make it. Golly. What about that? I think we've solved it. Okay. Now I just want to see a plate go through there. Nice. Okay. So, yes, the addition of that robot arm in there prevents that pipe machine from overflowing. Looks like it steals one every now and then. Or it was busy. It was busy. The pipe machine was busy when that plate came through, so the robot arm grabbed it. Nice. I'll be implementing that into all my setups now. So there's a little closer look at the robot arm and the pipe machines for you. We do have this little guy here, which will work as a stopper. So let me place some belts here. Oop. Actually, yeah, this'll be fun. I need a chute bottom. Then we'll place that and a chute top. We can have this head right up to there. And red, I believe, is closed. Yes. So right now you can see the gems are just piling up in there. But if I head over here and press F to open this little menu and toggle, we now have that open. Nice. We do have other options of chutes to play around with. Sometimes this can happen if you've built chutes above when you place one down below, and the best way I figured out to deal with that is delete one of the chutes above it, and it will update. But this here is a little splitter chute that drops things down, and it just uses the gravity and which side of the belt it falls from to determine which side it gets placed on. Really big tip here. Don't forget to break all of the ore piles that you see, because there could be something hiding behind it. Some of these areas are really neat. And keep an eye out for diamond rocks stuffed in hard to reach places. I would also like to point out that before, when I had all of this running, especially when I was recording, the animations there were not smooth because of the frame loss I had. They have made an update to this game that has made this buttery smooth, even with everything in the game running and my gem fountain going over here. So just keep in mind, if it plays a little stuttery on the demo version, once you upgrade to the early access version, there have been optimizations made that make the gameplay much smoother. At the time of this recording, I have over 1,000 physical ore objects in the game, and I do not have any issues here. And one last tip here, if you guys do end up with any issues where you have left a miner running and forgot to hook it up to your main bus system and you just have 10,000 physical objects on your map and you can't even hardly move, you can press this button right here to clear all objects and it will reset that. You also have buttons here for turning off all auto miners, turning on all auto miners, and an unstuck button that will place you in the top of the elevator shaft if you find yourself in the need. We also have a disable head button here. This acts as a nice little addition for screenshots or video. And that is going to wrap it up for today, folks. If you've got any questions, anything that you want me to specifically show off in the next guide, let me know. Throw it in the comments. I want to hear your questions and I will answer them next Monday. If this video helped you out in any way, shape, or form, please hit that like button. It means a lot to me. If you would like to see more MineMogul, smash that subscribe button and join me every Monday. I'm MonkeyNutz. Have a good one, everybody.